I ended up in hospital. Hi everyone, it's Kerry and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to those of you who are new here. I usually post videos every Tuesday and every Friday, which kind of leads me into this next video a little bit. You may have noticed that I've taken a few weeks off, and that is not through choice. I've been forced to take time off because the last video I made about migraines, which I'll link up here for you, I got very sick afterwards. The migraines really escalated and I haven't been able to do my normal day job now for 4 weeks, they were so bad I ended up in hospital, which wasn't great. Definitely not something I was expecting at all. Basically, I think about 2 weeks or so into having the really bad migraines, I then started to suffer with minor stroke symptoms, which scared the shit out of me, I am not gonna lie. So I ended up on the stroke unit at the Northampton General, where they had to do a CAT scan, they had to do a full assessment, and the doctor was thinking that it must just be the migraine, but they couldn't just rule it out, they needed to do further tests. So I had some assessments done. Basically, I was suffering from numbness on my left side, but no drooping of the face. It still feels a little bit numb here. I had weakness down my left arm, but not really down my leg so much. So that's why the consultant thought that it probably wasn't anything to do with a stroke, but he said it needed further investigation and they weren't able or weren't happy to let me leave. I stayed in for a little bit, and then I had to have an MRI scan, which was posted for a few days later in the week. So I ended up in the hospital on the Monday night, and then I had an MRI scan on the Friday. Thankfully, they all came back clear and normal, which is great, but I still don't know what caused the migraines to get that severe. So I've not been able to do any work. I wasn't able to drive. I was on 300 milligrams of aspirin a day, obviously I'm off completely all of my migraine meds, so I had nothing there at all that could help me. My local doctors prescribed me some other painkiller type tablets. I think they were like anti-inflammatories, but they just made things 10 times worse. I was really sick on them, and that, funnily enough, was just before the stroke. Well, the stroke symptoms, not the actual stroke. I didn't have the stroke, thankfully. So yeah, they were not good. So what that has meant is that I have not been able to look at any screens whatsoever. So I've not been able to do my normal day job. I've not been able to look at my phone much. I've not been able to look at the telly much. It's slowly getting better, thankfully, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to go back to work next week. But it has also meant that I've not been able to do any YouTube at all, which is really, for me, really upsetting, because it's something that I really love to do. I love creating content for you guys. You might be wondering, what the hell have I been up to? I did manage to pick up my camera on the days where I wasn't feeling quite so crappy, and I can show you a few of those things now, what I've been going and doing. I have actually, on one good day, managed to get out with my husband to the garden centre. He had to drive because I wasn't allowed to, under doctor's orders, in case I'd had a stroke, which, as you know, I haven't. So I ended up getting some plants. So I've got a nice plant now for my desk, but it's not doing so well since I've replanted it in here. As you can see, there's bits that are dying. So I think I'm going to go and get some gravel and repot this. So I'm going to put some gravel in the bottom so it's got some drainage. So that's one thing. The next thing that I bought is this gorgeous little succulent here, which are very, very pretty. I love it. And I bought this off Amazon, I think for $5.99. It was the smallest one they had. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing a little bit. What else have I been doing? So one of the suggestions that I was given was to try some puzzles. So I bought 3 puzzles from Amazon, each for 1,000 pieces. And I think that's kind of kept my sanity, because I like to be kept busy. I'm not the kind of person that likes to be sat around doing nothing. It absolutely kills me to do nothing. I hate doing nothing. So I've done some few puzzles. So another thing that I've been doing during my time off is to plan our next trip to the States, which I'm hoping will be in September, October time this year, COVID willing, and if President Biden decides to open the borders to English people again, that would be nice, please. So I've been doing that, so I'll enter a clip now of what I'm planning. So depending on my health and COVID, of course, here is my little plan for where I would like us to go. Maybe September, October time this year, but like I say, it all depends down to COVID and whether or not we're actually allowed back into the States at all. But here's my little plan. So we would fly in to LA and then head straight down to Anaheim, which is where Disney is. And there's also got the Buena Park, and I think it's called the Knott's Berry Farm, something like that. Something I'd seen from another vlog even, that from the Endless Adventure. If you've ever seen their channel, go check it out. If you've not even. So yeah, we would head straight down to Anaheim, spend 3 nights there, and then we would bypass and go up the coast to Santa Barbara, maybe spend a night there, maybe not, maybe just spend a bit of time there that day. That would take about 2 hours, and then 4 hours further up the coast to Monterey, spend a bit of time there before then heading off to San Francisco, where we will probably spend a couple of nights, and then up to Lake Tahoe for a night, because it's very, very pretty around there. And then we'd want to go down to Yosemite National Park, probably for 3 nights. I have seen a vlog of a couple called Nikki and Claire Firmage. So again, another YouTuber, go and check out his channel. He does lots of stuff on Vegas, but they did do a road trip a year or 2 ago now, and they went to Yosemite, so I would love to go there. And then it would be a rather long drive of about, I think, 6 or 7 hours down to Las Vegas, which, as if you've watched my channel before, you know that I absolutely love Vegas. And we want to go and spend 2 nights in downtown, which would be the first time we've ever stayed downtown, but we want to go and stay at Circa, which is the new casino there, run by Richard Wilk. Again, he's on YouTube, go check him out. And then whilst we are in Vegas, we will take a road trip to the Grand Canyon. It is a bit of a drive, so it's about 4 hours drive or so from Vegas to the Grand Canyon. Not very far on the map, but a long drive. So if we don't drive it, possibility we may do the helicopter trip. I don't know yet, because I'm not great with flying. But anyway, we'll spend then 2 nights at circa, like I say, 5 nights on the Strip, probably at an MGM hotel because I am an MGM member. And I can get cheap rates on hotels there, so that's probably what I'll do. And then after that we will make our way back down and spend a couple of nights in LA before flying home. I've also tried to do some little bits around the house, so I've tried putting up you ordered a print from a small business off Etsy to go in the lounge, and then I ordered, I say a small print, it's 2 foot by 3 foot, so it's quite big. So I put that up in the lounge and I put it into a frame that I ordered from Amazon. I've also finally put up the mixed tiles going up our stairway, which I ordered a year ago from when we moved into the house, so I've put those up too. So in terms of stuff around the house, I bought some 3 little shelves that are going to go up on the wall in my office here, where this poster is at the moment, or this print is, and I'm going to spray paint these in this rose gold colour. So I'm going to try and do that in the garage at some point this week maybe, and put these up on the wall. I've also bought this wooden heart as well, which I can put on the wall. Not sure now which wall to put that on, or even where. I might actually put that in the guest room, and again I'll probably spray paint it with this as well. So that's that in terms of what I'm going to do. But what I have been doing, I'll take you out down here, as I mentioned, I finally put up our mixed tiles, which I ordered about a year ago. So we've got some there from our wedding, we've got some from our trip to Minnesota, we've got other friends' weddings and families' weddings on there, and of course lots of Vegas ones. We've got Rocco, and then we've got my late uncle, God rest his soul, whose first birthday's just gone past in heaven, and yet more Vegas and Disneyland, and then my dad with his brother. So we've done that, and then also going down the stairs. Hi Rocco, what are you doing? Are you waiting for Daddy? Are you waiting for Daddy to get back? I think you are. You're going to be waiting a long time because Daddy's had to go out today. And then into the lounge. After a year of searching and not being able to agree on a print, we found a Las Vegas print that we really like. I'm sorry, the light from the shutters is somewhat skewing that. But yes, we bought this frame as well from Amazon. I think it was £27, I want to say, with the packaging. Then we've got the print from Etsy, and for those of you that don't know, Las Vegas is very close to our hearts because it's where we got married. I've also tried to get out in the garden a little bit, so I will insert a clip here at the in a moment of what happens when Rocco normally goes out in the garden. And what I did try to get him to do what he normally does, but he must have known the camera was on him. He's quite camera shy, I think, at some points, especially when I want him to do stuff that he normally does and then doesn't do it. Do you want to show everyone what you do when you go outside? Shall we? Ready? Oh, steady. Oh, you didn't do it! You didn't do it! Now he's done it. Where have you gone? Where have you gone? There you are. That's what you normally do, isn't it? Gonna drop it then? Do you want to drop it? Drop your ball. Drop your ball. Rocco. What's this? Drop it. You're going to give to Mummy? Are you going to give? Oi! Come here. Drop it. Good boy. Are you ready? Up. Good boy. Come here then. Come here. Rocco. Bring your ball. Yes. One of the other things that we've been planning, and I've been planning and I've been desperate to do since we moved here, which has been over a year now, is to do the guest room. So we've had a number of conversations about what to do in the guest room, but we have decided what we're going to do is just to paint it completely white to give us a blank canvas, and then we can add in accent colours to that as and when. Now I'm thinking either yellow or pink accent colours at the moment, not quite sure, but I will do a whole video on that one. I am, if I'm allowed, please Matt, let me, please, is to paint a mural of some kind. I'm thinking like a Japanese blossom tree on the wall behind the where the bed is, so to make that a feature wall. I have never attempted anything like that in my life, but I want to try it. So yeah, hopefully Matt will let me do that. I've been planning that vintage video and that versus the Depop. I've also got a load of other ideas for videos, which is, again, it's great because I've had the time to think about them, but also frustrating at the same time because I've not really been able to spend the time filming them or planning them properly. But I have now got some really good ideas coming up, more on that later. So with all that's gone on over the last few weeks, I have not lost my enthusiasm. I have felt down and depressed and anxious, obviously with the stroke symptoms, but I've not let it get the better of me, and I'm always a pretty positive person anyway, but I have to give out a massive shout out to the NHS. You have been absolutely brilliant for me. The amount of times that I've had to be on the phone to a doctor or a consultant over the last few weeks, and the fact that they were able just to not drop everything, but, you know, get me in at really, really short notice, or give me a phone call back when I needed some advice on something. You've been absolutely brilliant, and I honestly don't know what we would do without our NHS. So not that Boris Johnson would ever be watching one of my YouTube videos, but Boris, give the NHS staff a pay rise, please. The nurses and the doctors work so effing hard, and the fact that they were still able to see me and still able to help me going through what I've been going through all through this pandemic. Honestly, I take my hat off to the NHS. I am super grateful. I don't even know how we coped as a country without having the NHS before. I mean, it was like a long time before I was born, but I really do appreciate our NHS. So I just want to say a huge thank you to all the doctors and the consultants and the nurses that have looked after me over the last few weeks. I will be forever in your debt. So that's enough gushing now from me, but I hope you liked this video. If you've been bored or wanting to do things that are not screen focused, then hopefully I've given you some ideas to do and things to think about. But yes, I hope you've liked this video. If you have, please smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, ding the notification bell for next time I upload. You can be notified, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.